orange cube is...
I'm in charge, is that right? Okay, my name is Robert Issel and I represent Phillip Business Community. I have a background in multi-sports stadiums in the 30s down in Victoria. And what I can't understand, Minister, I think it's coming along, what I can't understand is why, when I came to Canberra, why 130,000 people in this area of Canberra are denied a multi-sport stadium, which in other areas provides social, economic and health benefits. Yet the government says we want to take cars off the road, but everybody in the south wants to play futsal, basketball, netball and various other sports, starting at 4 o'clock every afternoon, have to get in their cars, the parents have to get in their cars and take their children north, and adults, when they finish work, have to get in their cars and travel north and back to play whatever sport it is that they wish to play. The only other multi-indoor sports stadium in the south isn't government funded, it's not government owned, it's at Tuggeranong. So why is the southern side of Canberra denied these facilities? And why has the current government allocated money for us in the future to have such a facility?
Okay, well the first thing is the ACT government doesn't fund, operate multi-sport facilities in the ACT. That's been the case since self-government and before. I'm just making that point.
Can I respond to that point in a minute?
Well,
I don't know.
Mary's had her say then.
That's the case. I'm just giving you the answer, right? You asked the question, so that's the answer. The multi-sport facilities that do exist in the ACT at Kaylene and Canberra, and there's one in Queanbeyan, and I might have missed one, but those are privately operated and funded and built by the private sector. The ACT government traditionally has supported and partnered and funded individual sports to develop centres, and that's been the case since self-government.
You publicly regulate some like health pools and stuff, but why not indoor sports facilities, for instance?
Look, that's a good question. I get why people are asking questions about it, but the case has been historically that's where the ACT government puts its funding into individual sports, particularly where sports participation is growing. So in the ACT, football, whether you're a football fan or not, is the highest participation sport in the ACT. So the government has funded to support that sport's growth, and that's why the Throsby Centre, the home of football in Throsby, was supported by the ACT government with support from the FFA and Capital Football. That's why basketball, again another growth sport in the north of Canberra, the government has supported the growth of that sport through this through the study that was done for those specific sports, as well as gymnastics. That doesn't mean that Woden is excluded in the future or conversations now. It's that that particular sports study was for those specific sports that had highest and higher and growing participation rates. Now, that doesn't mean other sports that are smaller, like the boutique sports, like roller derby, or even ice sports, although it's growing as well, are excluded from that either, and that's not been the case. And as I said, we're releasing more information about that tomorrow.
Netball, I suggest netball is not a fringe sport. It's the highest participation women's sport in Australia. So, and netball has to go north to go to an indoor facility for all of our indoor.
Sorry, who are you?
I'm Margie Sheedy, President of South Canberra Netball.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm regularly meeting with Louise around the growth of that sport and how the ACT government can support that participation to